At exactly 11:47 p.m., Amara received a message that destroyed 7 years of her life. Not from her boyfriend. Not from a friend. But from a stranger. Her phone vibrated once on the bed beside her. She almost ignored it. But something about the message made her chest tighten instantly. "I'm sorry, but I think you deserve to know the truth." Confused, she opened the attachment beneath the text. The moment the photograph loaded, her entire body froze. Her breathing stopped. The phone nearly slipped from her trembling fingers. "No." She zoomed into the image with shaking hands. "No, no, no." But the picture remained the same. There he was. Tund. The man she loved for 7 years. The man she defended when everybody mocked him. The man she nearly destroyed herself trying to help. Standing inside a massive wedding hall beside another woman. Wearing a tuxedo. Smiling. Happy. Married. Rain crashed violently against the roof outside while Amara stared at the screen like her soul had left her body. Maybe it was edited. Maybe somebody was trying to destroy their relationship. But then her eyes landed on the watch around Tund's wrist. The silver watch she bought for him with her first business profit. The same watch he once kissed while promising, "I'll wear this forever because it reminds me of the woman who stayed when I had nothing." Amara burst into tears instantly. A painful sound escaped her throat. Not ordinary crying. The kind of cry that comes when your heart physically breaks inside your chest. But before she could even process the pain, another message entered. And this one shattered her completely. "He said you were too poor for the life he wants now." Amara stopped breathing. Her stomach twisted violently. Too poor. After 7 years? After everything she sacrificed for him? Tears blurred her vision as memories flooded back painfully. 7 years earlier, Tund had absolutely nothing. No job. No car. No connections. Sometimes he borrowed transport money just to attend interviews. Sometimes he skipped meals entirely. Even his relatives mocked him openly. Amara remembered one particular night when rain leaked through the roof of his tiny room while he sat on the floor holding his head in frustration. "Maybe my life will never change," he whispered hopelessly. That night, Amara secretly sold her gold necklace to help him pay rent. When she handed him the money, Tund cried. Actual tears rolled down his face. He held her hands tightly and said, "The day I become successful, the whole world will know your value." Amara believed every word. Even when her friends laughed at her for dating a struggling man. Even when her mother warned her repeatedly. Be careful. Some men forget the women who suffered with them. But Amara defended him proudly every single time. Tund is different. Unfortunately, he wasn't. Everything changed the year Tund finally got his breakthrough. A powerful oil company hired him after years of rejection. Suddenly, his entire life transformed. Designer suits replaced old clothes. Expensive perfumes. Luxury restaurants. New friends. And slowly, the man Amara loved began disappearing. At first, it was small things. He stopped replying quickly. Then came the late-night meetings. Then the sudden insults disguised as jokes. "You don't dress like women in my circle. You're too emotional. You don't understand the level I'm operating now." Every sentence wounded her deeply. But she kept forgiving him. Because she remembered the old Tund. The poor man who once cried in her arms. The man who promised forever. Then came Vanessa. Beautiful. Rich. Connected. Her father owned hotels across Nigeria. The first time Amara heard her name, something inside her became uncomfortable. Tund suddenly smiled at his phone more often. Protected his screen. Started disappearing on weekends. Whenever Amara asked questions, he became defensive. "You're becoming insecure." One night, after Tund fell asleep in her apartment, his phone lit up beside him. Amara wasn't trying to spy. But the message preview appeared clearly across the screen. "Baby, Dad already likes you. After the wedding, everything becomes ours, red heart." Amara's blood ran cold instantly. Wedding? What wedding? Her hands trembled uncontrollably as she unlocked the phone using the password she had known for years. What she discovered destroyed her completely. Hundreds of messages. Pictures. Plans. Conversations about their wedding. Mockery. Lies. Then she saw the messages that broke her soul entirely. "Amara suffered with me, yes, but she doesn't fit the future I want." Another message. "She's too local for my new lifestyle." Another one. "I can't marry someone who has nothing to offer my brand." Amara covered her mouth instantly to stop herself from screaming. It felt like knives were entering her chest one after another. 7 years. 7 years reduced to embarrassment. But the deepest wound came seconds later. As she continued reading, she discovered that Tund had secretly transferred money from her savings account. The money she kept for her mother's surgery. Gone. Spent on gifts for Vanessa's family. Champagne. Wedding preparations. Amara stared at the transaction receipts in complete disbelief. Her entire body shook violently. That was the exact moment something inside her died. Not love. Hope. She sat there until morning, unable to cry anymore. Unable to think. Unable to breathe properly. When Tund finally woke up and saw the phone in her hands, his face changed instantly. For a brief moment, guilt flashed across his eyes. But it disappeared quickly. And what he said next made Amara feel physically sick. "Please don't make this difficult." Difficult? After stealing from her? After humiliating her? After using her loyalty to build himself for another woman? Tears rolled silently down her face as she stared at the man she no longer recognized. Then Tund said the sentence that haunted her for years. "Love is not enough anymore." That night, Amara packed her things quietly and left. No screaming. No fighting. No begging. Just silence. The kind of silence that comes when someone is too broken to speak. 3 weeks later, the wedding videos flooded social media. Luxury cars. Celebrities. Millions everywhere. People praised Vanessa and Tund as couple goals. Amara locked herself inside her room for days. Sometimes she cried until sunrise. Sometimes she stared at the ceiling for hours wondering why loyalty was never enough. She stopped posting online. Stopped answering calls. Even food became difficult to swallow. One evening, her mother entered her room quietly and found her staring blankly into space. Then she sat beside her and whispered softly, "Never destroy yourself because someone failed to value your heart." That sentence changed something inside Amara slowly. Not immediately, but enough to help her stand again. Instead of revenge, she chose survival. Then survival became growth. Amara buried herself in work completely. Day and night. While the world admired Tund's glamorous marriage online, Amara was quietly rebuilding herself from nothing. She learned digital marketing. Expanded her fashion business. Studied successful entrepreneurs obsessively. Sometimes she cried while working. Sometimes the pain returned unexpectedly. But she kept moving. Year after year. Until slowly, the same woman who once cried herself to sleep became one of the most successful fashion entrepreneurs in Lagos. Celebrities started wearing her designs. Her business exploded online. Money came. Respect came. Peace came. And then one rainy evening, fate brought Tund back into her life. Amara stepped out of a black luxury SUV in front of a 5-star hotel while security guards rushed to open the door for her respectfully. Then she saw him, standing near the entrance. Alone. Tired. Older. Broken. Tund froze immediately the moment he recognized her. His eyes widened slowly. Almost like he couldn't believe what he was seeing. Because this was no longer the broken woman he abandoned years ago. This woman looked powerful. Untouchable. Confident. For the first time in years, Tund looked small. Amara later discovered the truth. Vanessa had divorced him after his business collapsed. Most of his wealth disappeared. The rich friends vanished too. Everything he traded Amara for eventually disappeared. Tund walked toward her slowly with trembling eyes. Then suddenly, he broke down crying. Right there in public. People stopped moving. Some turned to watch. "I made the biggest mistake of my life," he whispered painfully. Amara looked at him quietly. And for a brief second, 7 years of memories flashed through her mind. The sacrifices. The suffering. The betrayal. The nights she cried alone. Tund fell to his knees. Actual knees. In front of everybody. "Please. I'm begging you." Amara's eyes filled with tears instantly. Not because she still loved him, but because she finally understood something heartbreaking. The man she sacrificed 7 years for never truly existed. Only the dream of him did. She took a deep breath. Then looked directly into his eyes. "I forgive you." Hope entered Tund's face immediately. But then she finished the sentence softly. "But forgiveness doesn't rebuild dead love." Silence swallowed the atmosphere. Tund broke down completely. But Amara simply entered the hotel calmly. And never looked back again. Because sometimes, the greatest revenge is not hatred. It is healing so completely that the people who broke you can no longer reach you anymore.